Hi, I'm Kathleen Seide with Seide Realty, and I'm reaching out to our customers right now to let them know what's going on because the world is in a really unusual place right now because of the coronavirus. I want to talk about a few things to let you know what's going on in the real estate market locally and nationally, and what issues you might be wanting to think about if you are in the market right now. So the real estate market right now, obviously a lot of people are staying home, so demand has slowed down. There's less demand right now, and basic economics tells us that if supply stays the same and demand goes down, then there's a pressure on price to go down. Now, what we have yet to see is whether a lot of people are going to be taking their homes off the market right now temporarily while things settle out. A lot of people who live in the homes that they're selling may not want buyers coming through. They don't want strangers coming through their house right now, a home that they're living in. So that might be happening, and we're going to have to wait and see once some of our restrictions ease up how buyer demand is affected. So in that case, if you're buying or selling, there's some things to think about. For sellers, I would say that right now is a good time to make sure your house is as easy to show as possible, that curb appeal is amazing, and that it is beautiful when people come into it. Make it clean and nice and spectacular, because if you want your house to sell, it needs to be the best house that they see. For buyers, it's up to you what you want to do right now. It's an interesting time, and you might benefit from waiting to see how prices change as the market changes. Also, interest rates. So right now, the Fed lending rate to banks is 0%, and that should bring interest rates down. Now, what we're seeing right now is that the banks have increased interest rates actually a little bit because they have had such a demand for people refinancing their homes. So if you own a home right now, whether or not you're buying and selling, I would suggest keeping an eye on the interest rates and considering refinancing, and if you're in a position to do that. Things that you need to look at when you're considering whether you want to refinance is how long you're going to be in the home and what the cost is of refinancing itself. If you're going to be there for a year, then the cost of refinancing versus lower interest rate probably doesn't make sense. But if you plan on being there a while, it's definitely something to take a look at. For home buyers, that's also something that's going to be good for you in the next few weeks, few months, hopefully. The interest rates will stay down and you'll have much more affordable loans. Let's see, essential services. So there's a couple areas of our country that are in a shelter at home situation. And they're asking that anybody that doesn't perform an essential service stop operating. We're not in that place right now in Florida, but I don't know if that's a possibility here. I don't know when that might be a possibility. So if you're entering into contracts, the things you want to consider are what happens if you're not able to meet your obligations. We are building into our contracts right now an addendum to help cover that. It's not clear in the contract the way it's written, so we want to do an addendum or include some language in there for that. But we also want to look at our home inspectors, appraisers, surveyors. Are they going to be able to leave their homes and go to your property to do their job? Because those are pieces that need to happen for the bank if you're getting a loan to get closed. There are also good things to do in general, even if you're paying cash, but then it becomes a choice of whether or not you want to do it rather than not being able to and not being able to close. So keep these things in mind when you're entering into contracts right now. Another piece of that is that right now, most government offices in the areas that we serve are still open, even if it's only open online. They have people that are doing their jobs there. So research can still be done on the title, and you can still file a deed, things like that. That's possible. It could change in the coming weeks. But for now, we're still able to do those processes. But keep in mind that as things change, we may be affected. So you want to think about that and have conversations with whatever agent you're working with about that before and during your contract. Now, all of that said, there are some people we're working with that still need to move. They're not able to stay where they are. They have certain plans in place, certain personal situations, whatever. So that said, I want to talk a little bit about the services that we offer and how they apply to the situation. So we've been a paperless office for years, at least a decade, and we've been completely virtual for about 6 years. So we have a lot of experience with technology that allows us to be touchless, so to speak. So for our customers, both buying and selling, we're doing a lot of virtual tours right now. Now, we've always done virtual walkthroughs with people that are out of town and that sort of thing, but we're using that more frequently now for people who need to see a property, but we don't all want to be meeting in the same place, or you don't want to be going through people's homes, bringing a bunch of people through somebody's home. So out of respect for everybody involved, we've been offering that more. And so what that means is that you can either have a live video chat where we're on the phone on FaceTime or Messenger or something like that, and we walk through a property and you can direct us as we go, things that you're interested in seeing or looking at more closely. Or I've done a lot of video tours where I actually go walk through a property and then put together a video, upload it, and you're able to access it and watch it over and over and share it. So both of those are options, and once you go through that process and settle on an individual property, I would still recommend going in person to see it, but that helps alleviate a lot of the face-to-face contact between here and there. Electronic signatures, we are, like I said, a paperless office. So as we go through the process of looking at properties, evaluating values, making an offer, all of that is virtual. So we have online signatures for that. That gets delivered to the other agent along the way, or as if we have listings, the paperwork gets sent to us, the offer paperwork gets sent to us, but we review it online. We can talk on the phone, we can do video chat to go over any questions you have along the way, and do all digital signatures. That gets sent on to the lenders, the title companies, all of that, and that process has been digital for a long time for our office, so we have all the checks in place for that to take care of it. One thing that is happening now that's a newer in the closing arena is there's been some legislation pushed through in Florida recently allowing for virtual closings. So that would be a call or a video chat, something like that, where you're face-to-face with the virtual notary and you can sign paperwork that way. Now, there's a question, I don't know how many banks are accepting that yet, but it has been pushed through. As far as I know, I was talking to an attorney this morning about it who does it, and so you don't even have to actually be face-to-face anymore. That's going to alleviate some human contact there. But beyond that, there's a lot of mobile notaries that can meet you, so you can meet maybe outside, sign paperwork on the back of their car or something, rather than have somebody come into your home or having to go into an office where other people have been. So all of that is what that's the news, that's what we're offering right now. Things are going to be changing, but we're trying to keep up with it. We're trying to share that information as readily as we can. Besides that, I do want to talk a little bit about serving our communities. And as this started, I started thinking about what can we do and how do we support the communities that we're in? How do we connect in a time where we're literally not physically connecting? And how do we offer support to people, businesses in our communities? So that's been something that I've been very involved with in my communities. And I challenge you to, once you're settled and know you're okay, think about that. Think about what are the ways that you can contribute? What is the positive effect you can have? A lot of people in our country feel like they don't matter, that their voice doesn't matter, that they don't have an effect. And this is a time when your voice matters. So I've been trying to show up as my best self every day and give and listen and contribute. And I hope that you think about this for a minute and think about doing the same. Show up as your best self. This is an opportunity to have an enormous impact on our communities. Now, my challenge to you today is more specific. With COVID-19 out there as a huge risk to our elderly population, it's causing them to self-isolate. And they're the group that's most at risk for loneliness to start with. So that's getting worse. So if you can do this, it might make a difference. Today, pick somebody in that age group that you know and get on a video chat with them. If you don't know how to do it, call me, I'll walk you through it. If they don't know how to do it, you teaching them will open a new world up for them, because we're going to be locked down for a while. And loneliness has a real impact on people. It has an impact on your health. It has an impact on the quality of your immune system. So doing this, reconnecting with people, it's going to have a big impact. So I challenge you, find someone that you can do that with today, get on the phone with them, get on a video chat, and reconnect. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope the information I shared is useful. And reach out if you have questions, if you have anything that I can help with, if you have any problems. If I can help, I will. If I can't help, I will do my best to connect you with resources and solutions. So we're all in this together. Let's support each other. Have a great day.